Today is Estonian Independence Day. On this day in 1918, the Estonians declared their independence from the Russian Empire. They had to fight a war against both Germans and the army of Soviet Russia to secure their independence in a treaty 1920. In that treaty, Russia announced any claims to the Estonian territory and recognized the independence and sovereignty of Estonia forever. Forever lasted only 20 years because the Soviet Union illegally occupied Estonia as well as Latvia and Lithuania for the next 50 years. 10% of the population of the Baltic countries was deported or sent to labor camps. The United States always saw the occupation of the Baltics as illegitimate and recognized their sovereignty throughout the entire Cold War. In the depths of the Cold War, it was hard to imagine that the Baltics would ever regain their independence. But today, to the contrary, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania are vibrant, prosperous, and free. And of course, that irritates Putin, the KGB dictator of Russia. Today is also the 3-year anniversary of Russia's brutal, all-out invasion of Ukraine. 3 years ago, Russian tanks were rolling towards Kiev, and we all thought a total takeover of Ukraine by Russia was inevitable. As we know, instead, Ukrainians fighting for their homeland stopped and then pushed back the Russians, taking back 50% of the territory the Russians initially occupied. Today, Russia continues to gradually capture Ukrainian territory by force. With the help of North Korean soldiers, the Russian military is making small territorial gains, but at incredible cost in Russian lives and equipment. According to defense calculations, at the rate Russia is advancing in Ukraine today, it would take 83 years to reach Kyiv. 3 years ago, we thought Ukraine didn't stand a chance against the mighty Russian military. Everyone assumed Russia would conquer all of Ukraine and do it very quickly. 3 years in, the Russian military can't even conquer the territories in the east of Ukraine that Putin claims to have already annexed. In the areas that Russia has occupied, churches have been closed, evangelicals persecuted for their faith, civilians have been tortured, killed, and tossed into mass graves. Children have been kidnapped, at least 20,000, and are being brainwashed to forget who they are and adopt a Russian identity where they now live. The Ukrainian people want peace desperately, and I hope it comes soon. The Ukrainian people want this peace because that's best for them as the entire globe. But just like their Baltic friends before them, Ukrainians will never concede their sovereignty, and they will never give up on their countrymen who are currently under brutal occupation. The question is, what will make KGB Putin give up his imperial dreams of reestablishing the Soviet Empire?